Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L. Now let's talk One Piece chapter 888. Whoa, 888. Nice, cool. Triple eights. Anyway, guys, this chapter is pretty much just the carrot kills everything chapter. That was amazing, man. That was cool. Alright, let's just very quickly get the other stupid stuff out of the way. Things that don't concern carrot. And we'll just quickly cover. Luffy was there. He's doing things with Katakuri. Smoothie and Genie Man are there too. And there's another Charlotte there. Whatever. They're all just the premising for why Carrot's about to kill everything. Anyway, the only real thing that aside from Carrot I thought was kind of interesting was that Big Mom was possibly slimming down. In which case it means, oh my god, are we gonna see a hot, well, not a hot Big Mom, but like a slimmed down Big Mom that makes you kind of question things. I mean, she's 60. I don't really need to see that. She can stay her form, but it's actually kind of weird. The way she looks right now, it does look better than her other form. I don't know if I'm being like a placebo effect because Candyman mentioned it, but yeah, I'm kind of concerned. I hope that Big Mom doesn't end up going full skinny by the time she gets to the island. It'd be hilarious, but I hope that doesn't happen. I feel like Big Mom getting thinner means that she's going to be more mobile. And if Big Mom's more mobile, then that probably means people can get hurt more quickly. And I'm not really into that. I'm not about that kind of life. Anyway, Carrot, guys, holy, wow. Mystical is right, Jimbei. Jesus Christ, did you see that? I saw that. Okay, so first off, I had the crack theory list coming up. Or I had it come out last week. And let's talk about what I got right. So when I was reading the spoilers, I got really concerned because it said that Carrot had mature. And when I hear mature, I'm just thinking, Oda, are you going to actually make Carrot's boobs grow big? And it's like, I hope not. But then I look back and Carrot was already well endowed. So like, what could he do and not make it? There's no way he could make it a situation where... Yeah, it would have been ridiculous if her boobs got any bigger. So, you know what? That's what I'm going to think. And I'm looking at her picture and it doesn't look like anything got bigger. So, all right, good. That part of the crack theory was wrong. But did I get anything right when I went in with my crack theories? Well, kinda the werebeast. Like we do see at first that Carrot looked like she was about to go crazy where you see the shot of her roaring. It looked like Carrot was about to snap. Like she has the claws, she has the more feral like appearance. So in some ways the idea of a werebeast transformation, it's kind of there, but because the minks are already so beast like, it's not as pronounced. That said, you cannot deny she does gain more feral qualities. I'm not gonna pick that as a win though. It's too close to the line. It's not feral enough, right? So I can't call that a victory. What I will call a victory though is that we do see her get a little bit more covered in electricity. We see that the sparks are flying around her. It's not as dramatic as I was envisioning when I first said that maybe the minks would get like some kind of electric armor, but just the static around her in general, I think that's enough for me to call it a small victory when it came to that crack theory. I think it's cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see. Other things is we had the great monkey transformation, but it's really just the minks get hairier. That's really what it is. They get hairier and more shocking. And then of course their eyes changed. And did Carrot's face change? I mean, aside from the eyes, it's incredible what black eyes do for a character design. Like Carrot looks a lot more vicious. Holy man. Anyway, there is one thing when we're talking about this Carrot transformation that I think is absolutely valuable, and that is how everyone else reacts to it. Because going into this chapter, if you guys were following the previous chapters with me, I was saying it would be so weird, or the big deal would be like how Big Mom pirates react. Like they have they have Peckhams. Like they should be aware of what happens to a mink on the full moon, and this chapter gives us a lot more context. First off, the minks are aware, or sorry, not the minks, the Big Mom pirates are aware of this transformation, but they throw in so much extra context that it gives us a sense for how exclusive this transformation actually is. First off, we have Jinbei saying, have you trained for it? And then Carrot admitting like, yes, she has trained for this transformation. Now the big thing that we would take from there is we have to wonder, does this mean that unless you train for this, you cannot have this form? Or is it a case of if you don't train for this, you can't control this form? We have no real way of knowing the distinction, although I would say that the context of the chapter makes us think it might be a case that this form is locked out to you unless you've trained for it, unless you've tried to unleash it yourself. Other thing is that we also got clarification that this is what Inugarashi was pointing towards when he was talking about whatchamacallit, like the hidden trump card. I think he like kind of hyped it up too much in terms of like it's reliant on a full moon, man. Like he's only gonna have one night of a month that he's allowed to actually use this form. So whatever. Anyway, not the point. With this, as we go through the chapter, we have Genie Man also telling us that he seems to imply that only the minks in the city of Zou are able to do this. And the implications here are coming from him saying like, oh yeah, Pedro was a citizen of the Phantom City of Zou, right? Is she from there too? He's asking that because it's as if the minks from that area, they seem to be the ones who are known for this form. And that's, again, that's leading into that context of maybe this is like, you have to actively train to unleash this power. It's not something every mink can do. Which then opens up the question, is Beppo able to do this? Because we know he left Zou at a young age. Is Beppo able to do this? Are all the citizens of Zou innately able, or not innately, are they able to do this by the time they're like in their teens? Is there something that they all train for? Because we know that in the citizens of Zou, we know that even the children are ready to just go into battle. So I really want to see the exact logic of how you get this form. Is there a variation where you're going crazy? Or is there a variation where you just have to train to unleash this form and then you get it after you have all these months of training? That's what I'm really curious about. I want to know the logic of it, but right now the context from the way I'm reading the words that the characters are saying, it seems that they're tying this transformation to her being from Zou. Like again, they call her a warrior of Zou and she's on a completely different level. Does that mean the minks in Totland just aren't capable of that? You know, it's an interesting question, because if the minks everywhere are able to do this, it is absolutely foolish for Big Mom's army that is so race inclusive to not have a bunch of minks ready to just unleash onto the enemy. If there are minks from Zou that have this capability, then that would be an acceptable way of how they can justify this pretty much strategic mistake. I mean, like, really the only other character on their side that we know should be able to do this, given the context of this is from Zou, would maybe be Peckham's. And now I'm kind of wondering if Pedro's going to come back. I mean, like, this is just incredible. Anyway, in terms of the capabilities of Carrot, I think the most incredible sequence is where she's just flying. She goes down towards the water and we just see her, like, somehow fly. And it's just so awesome. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Wow. I never would have thought we would have gotten this. Like, this is beyond any kind of expectation I could have had. Not the lightning part. That part I expected, but I'm speaking like just the flying around. The speed boost is also like, I kind of expected it, but seeing it executed in this way, seeing Carrot just ignore the water and just go straight to breaking everyone's ships, that's amazing, man. Freaking amazing is what that is. Anyway, it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple chapter. It's just Carrot goes crazy. Part 1. I'm so excited to see the next bit of this. Kind of want to see where we go from here. That said, is there anything I can really add to this chapter? I'm just so excited. This was the best. A Sulong, man. So long. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. This is I'm trying to think of what I can say about this. One thing is, with Carrot, we don't have to worry about the design issue that Oda has with some females in One Piece. You know, like, Oda has that habit of drawing a lot of the pretty girls the same way. Carrot, because she's already a furry, like, she's already been given a pass on having a prototype face or like a same face. I think now looking at this, I would be totally into the idea of having Carrot as even a tag along for the Straw Hat crew. She doesn't have to be one of the Straw Hat Pirates, but I think it would be amazing to just see what she can do. That said, you know, let's leave that for a Carrot discussion. We'll talk about Carrot and whether or not she can be a real candidate for Straw Hat placement. We'll talk about that. I think Carrot's given us some little things that we can really look at and talk about whether or not this could be something we end up doing for the next crew member. Like, really, Whole Cake Island is the place where I would say I want 3 people to join in on the Straw Hat crew, and I'd be totally cool with it. But we really have to see. There's one thing that Oda's been showing us, and that's that he may not be well suited to drawing the activities of all Straw Hats at all the time. We had shades of this back in Punk Hazard when Oda sidelined Frankie for the majority of Punk Hazard after a certain point, and we definitely got this in Dressrosa and now in Whole Cake, where he pretty much split up the crew. And everyone knows that when Brook, Chopper, and Nami are joined up with Luffy to go save Sanji, it wasn't because of they had an obligation to, it's because Oda had to draw them. We know that when that sequence happened, it's because Oda had to fill that quota. That said, I do question Oda's ability to handle more than 10 characters at once. We've seen him do it during the skirmishes like in Dressrosa, but he hasn't been doing it with the Straw Hats. And that's because the Straw Hats have more investment into them, and so they need to put out more. Him splitting them up like that, though, might just be the indicator, like sometimes the Straw Hats just don't have enough things to do to warrant them there. But that's another thought. I kind of just went off on a tangent there. Anyway, guys, let's end it there. As you can tell from this video, this is pretty much just me like totally digging this. I should be more critical here, but the most critical part I would be is really about how the Big Mom Pirates seem under-equipped for this, but they're giving us enough context to believe this is a relatively exclusive form. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say about this. Let me know down below, and till next time, let's call it there. I hope you have an absolutely great day.